In this lecture, we will focus on Docker networking, explaining the theory and concepts. As you start working with multiple containers, understanding Docker networking becomes crucial. We will look at how containers communicate with each other and the host system through Docker networks. In Docker, networking refers to the communication between containers, the host system, and external networks. By default, containers are isolated from each other and they cannot communicate unless specifically configured to do so through Docker networks. Docker networking allows containers to communicate securely, efficiently, and reliably even across multiple Docker hosts. Let's break down some of the key Docker network concepts that you will use. Docker provides different types of networks to handle different communication scenarios. These network types include bridge network, which is the default network. This is the default network mode used by Docker containers. When you run a container without specifying a network, it is automatically connected to the bridge network. Containers on the same bridge network can communicate with each other using IP addresses, but containers on different bridge networks cannot communicate unless connected to the same network. This is suitable for standalone containers or simple applications where the containers only need to communicate with each other on the same host. When you run docker run -d my container, it will connect to the bridge network by default. Next, we have host network. In this mode, a container shares the host's network namespace, meaning it uses the host's networking stack directly. The container has the same IP address as the host and can communicate with external systems using the host's IP. However, it doesn't get its own isolated network interface. This is used when you need the container to perform network-related tasks directly through the host network. It's most useful when you want the container to have the same network characteristics as the host. You might use the host network for a high-performance application where you don't need isolation from the host. Next, we have overlay network. Overlay networks allow containers to communicate across different Docker hosts, typically in a Docker Swarm or Kubernetes cluster. The overlay network uses a virtual network that spans multiple Docker hosts. It allows containers on different machines to communicate with each other. It's used for applications that need to be distributed across multiple machines, such as microservices deployed on a Docker Swarm or Kubernetes. If you are running a multi-host application in a Docker Swarm, overlay networks are used to connect containers across these different hosts. Finally, we have none network. This mode disables all networking for a container. The container has no access to the network, which is useful for isolated use cases. The container can run without any external or internal network access, providing complete isolation. This is typically used for special cases where a container doesn't need networking access, for example, for security or testing purposes. So we can do this by running the command docker run --network space none and then space with the container name. We also have Docker network drivers. A network driver determines how containers are connected to the network. When you create a network, you can specify the driver to use. There are several drivers available, but the most commonly used ones are bridge, the default network driver for a container. It allows communication between containers on the same host. Next, we have host. It shares the network namespace with the host. Next, we have overlay, which allows containers on different Docker hosts to communicate. Next, we have MacVLAN, used to assign a MAC address to a container, allowing it to appear as a physical device on the network. And finally, we have none, which disables networking for the container. Now let's look at how containers communicate with each other over these networks. Containers connected to the same Docker network can communicate with each other by their container names. For example, container 1 can reach container 2 using container 2 as the host name. We are going to see this in action later on. If you expose a container's port to the host, for example using -p when running a container, that's exactly what we did, you can access the container's service using the host's IP address then. And if you want containers on different networks to communicate, you can use Docker's --link option, which is deprecated in favor of networks, or create a custom network that spans multiple hosts. And this is the overlay network that we are talking about. In a multi-container application such as microservices, Docker networking is used to connect different containers. For example, a web application container might need to connect to a database container. Using a Docker network, we can ensure that they can communicate securely. You might create a custom network for the microservices to talk to each other, ensuring they are isolated from other containers and the host system. In conclusion, Docker networking is a powerful and flexible way to enable communication between containers. By understanding how to create networks, connect containers, and manage network settings, you will be able to build complex multi-container applications with ease. As you progress, Docker's networking features will be essential when setting up microservices and managing communication in distributed systems. In the next steps, we will dive deeper into Docker networking as we create and connect multiple containers to simulate a real-world RabbitMQ cluster.